Welcome to another Welcome to yet another episode of Cult of Comics Podcast. I am your host, Tyler Brown. I am joined again by my usual cohorts, criminals, and co-counselors, Sean Walsh and Josh Craven. How's it going, guys?
Oh yeah, this is actually therapy for Tyler. We're just
It
here
is.
to monitor him.
Yeah, we're his counselors. It's
Listen,
okay,
I
buddy.
already have 2 therapists. I need the 2 extra therapists. You guys are just like bonuses, like bonus episodes, like this one. Welcome to yet another bonus episode. We'll finish up talking
Boner.
about WandaVision.
Yeah,
this
season
sucked.
finale. Wait, what?
I hated it.
You hated
Mhm.
it? That's
I hated it.
It's probably
strong
also the
words.
series finale.
yeah.
This was one of the. I just really didn't like this. I didn't like this at all. I didn't think that this was very fun. I feel like there was a bunch of open ends, and maybe they're going to cover that later. But I really just didn't.
Yeah,
like
I feel like it could have definitely been better.
Yeah,
I definitely felt a lot of the moments.
it was very safe.
Yeah, I think that's the problem.
It wasn't bad. It just didn't. I was expecting something that I didn't get. I was expecting a big, like, complete like crazy finale where like
I would
all
have
these things would
taken
happen.
an actual hour instead of 40 minutes. They could have put 20 more minutes in there.
Technically,
Huh?
Technically, it was 50 minutes. But it just
They promised us the last 3 episodes to be an hour long each.
Close
Well,
to.
They
You guys-
they also promised that there was going to be a Mark Hamill reveal at the end. So there you go. They
Mark Hamill level.
Paul Bettany admitted he was
trolling.
he was trolling with that.
Not exactly trolling. He thought it was funny, and then
Yeah,
he's like, "Oh no."
Yeah, he made a joke.
Oh,
Was like, this
no.
will be really, really funny, and then it just blew up, and he was like, "Oh shit, better roll with it now."
Yeah,
It was
no,
pretty
that was
funny.
really
He
dumb.
said, "Yeah." He said he was going to act with an actor he's admired his whole life, and
Yeah, and
it
that's
was
funny
himself.
if it was in the context of like a better framed joke. But this, when you end it with Mark Hamill level reveal, you sit there and you're like,
Yeah.
okay, well, what's going to happen next?
Yeah.
And then you speculate, and then, I mean, what the fuck?
And like, people were saying like, "Oh, Doctor Strange is going to be the big reveal," and I was like, "Doctor Strange is going to be it anyway, but he's not the big reveal."
Yeah.
There was no doubt in my mind Doctor Strange was going to be in this episode, and then I was expecting another reveal on top of that, and then there was
Yeah.
nothing. No Doctor Strange, nothing.
Yeah.
Nope. Not anything at all. I feel like everything about this show was great up to the part where it got superhero-y. And then I'm like, really? Why don't I like this? And I'm like, oh, because it's just not, there's no strength to it. Like every challenge that they had met, everything that they had set up flopped when they just were like, let's bring in all this traditional super. It felt like the creator of the show lost complete control of at least like a good half hour's worth of the story, and then had to just like surrender that to the producers of the show.
You mean when they dropped the entire like TV show idea?
The TV show idea, the energy between Wanda and the rest of the citizens of Westview changed entirely. The emotion of tension in the show changed and fell off almost entirely. Also, I didn't see any thanks to Kurt Busiek or George Perez like at all, and I just am kind of weirded out by that because I feel like
why should they be thanked? Yes, I know he
Kurt
did.
Busiek, he's
I
the
know
one
he did
who
some work with Wanda.
He didn't do just some work with Wanda. He's like the guy who did the work with Wanda and Vision. Like that, he's the guy. He's the reason why,
I know he introduced chaos magic and some of it. Okay. Was there really no thanks? Because I know the first episode had thanks to Bendis, Tom King, and several others.
That's why I'm weirded out. That's why I'm weirded out. It's because of people that you should have thanked. You should have also included Kurt Busiek, of the writers and everybody. Like George Perez,
especially considering he's the only. Considering like the other big name writers
I think we went in with a lot of expectations or things we expected to happen, and not really any of them happened.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was saying, like, considering like the 2 big name writers they did thank in one of the previous episodes were Bendis and King, and they don't work at Marvel anymore, whereas Kurt Busiek still does.
I know. Like, what the
So
fuck?
it's weird they thanked 2 people that went to their
I
competitors
don't know
and
if
didn't
Kurt
thank.
Busiek has done a whole lot of. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just going to say that I don't think that Kurt Busiek has done anything at DC that I'm aware of.
He has some out of continuity stuff. He did Superman: Secret Identity,
Right, that's what it was. I'm done.
and more recently, Batman: Creatures of the Night, which was the Batman equivalent of that story.
I don't know. Okay, so things I really liked. I really liked the sequence where, and I don't really care about doing this in order anymore. Like I'm just. I think that going over scene by
Full
scene.
spoilers ahead.
Yeah. So the sequence where Wanda is up on the roof and walks up behind Agatha, but she does it in that creepy, really fast manner. Yeah. That whole sequence, and then the sequence following that was fucking awesome. That was choice. Great cinematography. That felt like that should have been happening a whole lot more. Also, when they move into that universe, into like Agatha's mind or back in time or whatever the fuck that was, and then all of a sudden the witches
the
turn
same
back
sort
on.
of like illusion that she creates when she messes with people's heads.
Yeah, I don't really understand what happened there. Like she's like, haha, I've got you. And then they're like, haha, no, I've got you. And it's like, why does this matter?
Yeah.
Like that sequence seemed unnecessary, really. Like,
yeah.
If they cut that sequence out pretty much entirely, like I didn't need I get that was like the revelation of the crown, but you could have done that with something else.
Or they did it anyway again when she, realized she's like, I know who I am.
I know who I am. Oh, also, the acting in this was fucking terrible. Like, this is the worst acting I've seen in this entire show. Most of this episode sounded like Tommy Wiseau level screams of just Tommy Wiseau the whole friggin' time.
I expected a bit more from like the townspeople.
Yeah.
Right? Like they interacted with her.
A 30-second scene with them.
Or at the end when
I'm doing this. I'm just like staring. Why are you doing this, Wanda? I don't understand what's happening.
Wanda is saying goodbye to Monica. Everyone just kind of lines up, 40 yards away and just stands there.
It's because they're scared of her.
Yeah, but they just kind of wait. They don't go away. They don't run or anything. They're just like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there was zero emotion in this episode. I was so excited about this show, and then it all just.
I'm going to get into some positives. The new costume is sick.
I do like the new costume. Yeah. I do really like that second ending with her looking at the book.
Yeah, I
don't know what she's doing.
We got to this.
I know, but like the regular version of her that's just standing there, drinking tea. Why is that version of her even there?
I agree.
Oh, hang on a second. We'll get to that second. Sean, go ahead.
I was going to say we got to this end and like the camera like moved past Wanda, where she was like drinking the tea, and like it got like to sort of like the living room area, and you could hear some magic going on in like the back room. And I was like, okay, this is going to be Doctor Strange opening his little portal.
Yeah,
coming through.
It has to be.
I was like, it's happening. Like, yeah, it's happening. And then like it was just her, and I was like, okay, still a cool scene of her reading the book. But I was like,
yeah.
It got to this part, and I was like, here comes Doctor Strange, and just nothing.
It doesn't add much. I was expecting a lot more from the mid-credit and stinger ending.
Like,
what was the mid-credit scene? Remind me.
Monica Rambeau goes to the movie theater, and Girl comes up and then it's like, hey, you want to come hang out with Nick Fury?
That was a badly acted scene. It was like, where are we going?
Yeah. And that
for the audio listeners, I just sort of glanced upwards.
Yeah.
And looked towards the sky.
So I get that this is like a setup for Secret Invasion, and I get that this show basically was also a setup for Monica Rambeau to be in Secret Invasion.
It was also just a setup for Phase 4 in general.
Yes. Yeah. I'm not satisfied with the fact that they were just like, here's Monica Rambeau, who is this really cool character, and then we're gonna have her have like this much storyline in WandaVision, even though we've told you, the audience, that she's really important to this storytelling experience.
So
hang on a second. And then she gets shot at.
He's on a run.
The biggest thing is that she gets shot, the bullets phase through her, and then like that's the revelation. Only for her to have basically zero interaction outside of a few scenes of talking with Wanda, and then moving on to she's going to be in Secret Invasion. Like the purpose of her character.
I feel like it's a weird thing to say, but this finale felt rushed, considering the previous episodes were so like, especially the first couple were so sparse in content.
Yeah.
Like,
so
I enjoyed the first couple of sitcom episodes, but looking back on it, they're a waste of a couple of hours of this story that we could have had spent.
The entire purpose of the storytelling experience from the start is supposed to be you don't know what's going on. You know there's an issue. You reveal that Wanda is the issue, and then there's no revelation or resolution with that. It's just that she discovers that she's the issue. Sorry. And then that's
I'm not the issue. I'm not the issue. Okay. Yeah,
so,
I'm the issue.
Apologize, guys.
It kind of wasted the House of M story.
Yeah, and it didn't really seem to. It kind of teased you like this is going to be House of M, and then they're like, which is fine. If you want to do that, that's fine. If you want to make it a different story, that's completely okay. It's your choice.
But the way it just kind of
is the House of M storyline ruined or used up because of this? They can't.
They can't have Wanda go crazy again and create another alternate reality.
Well, okay.
They can, but they shouldn't.
Here's my argument to that. She is studying the Darkhold. She is trying to figure out a way to bring her kids back, and then that's the thing that brings everything together. So that
it could happen again.
Yeah, because her kids were yelling out to her while she was looking at the Darkhold, like some version of them still exists.
But it's just,
or she's having Thor level visions like he did in Infinity War.
Yeah, but it would just be weird doing the same type of story again with her creating another fake world.
I mean,
maybe they explore a different world like that in.
I was gonna say that maybe if, like they go into the multiverse of madness kind of storyline, and then what they could do is she could be looking for an alternate dimension or reality where she does have kids, and then she goes and then plucks them out.
There's a chance there. There's a chance there to explore a lot of what if scenarios. Ones that might not have made it into the what if series.
But here's my other complaint with this. My other complaint with this is that there was so much of this that was like, here's some plot, here's some really good plot, and then we're not going to deliver on the end of that plot. I mean, there was a lot of, this is all one big like setup for Secret Invasion, whatever happens with Madness, Doctor Strange, Daddy Madness. And then
we got Vision somewhere.
Vision flew off. White Vision was like, I am Vision. And then he had like the revelation.
White Vision face off was
he got his memories back. He was like, all right, I'm going to head out.
He did a Matrix. Yeah. He did the thing at the end of the Matrix. He's just like, damn it.
No, man. It was more like, I am Groot. He's just like, I am Vision.
I am Vision. 80s
so
pop
I'm
music.
not going to help my wife. I'm just going to leave.
Yeah. I just remembered I have to be somewhere.
White Vision was a thing in the comics, sure, and I get that.
Yeah.
I guess
it's not some what. Tell us about that, because that's not something I'm familiar with from the comics.
I can't. You guys are both talking. Hang on a second. Sean, go first.
I was gonna say, tell me about the White Vision in the comics, because that's not something I'm familiar with.
Okay, I'll do that in a second. Sean or Josh, tell me what were you saying.
I was expecting them to fuse. You got the body, you got the mind.
Same. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Everyone.
No, I was feeling the exact same way.
They were phasing in and out of each other. I figured at some point they would
I was waiting for it to happen.
Line up and become one.
So White Vision was I think a little bit before the Kurt Busiek storyline.
So early 90s, are we talking?
Yeah, ish, something like that. The problem is that like if you were to Google it right now, all it's gonna have is gonna be Paul Bettany. That's literally it. And I think, you know what? It might have been in that storyline. It was definitely early 90s. I remember this now.
Wasn't it supposed to be like Ghost Vision?
If it's the one I'm thinking of, no. Because if I remember correctly, it was that he was kidnapped and then he had like a clone basically made of him. I'm really overly summarizing here.
And everyone was expecting James Spader to come back as Ultron in the body.
My bets for this episode were Cumberbatch back, James Spader, and also Quicksilver.
West Coast Avengers, that's what it was.
Okay.
Continue.
Yeah, just my bets for this episode were that James Spader was going to show up as Ultron. We were going to have Benedict Cumberbatch back as Doctor Strange, and also fake Quicksilver was going to be someone, like an actual character.
Was someone.
He was
He was Ralph Boner.
God, I hated that. They're like, hey, by the way, let's tease like you wanting the Fox X-Men universe to come into this. Nope, none of that. Fuck you.
Yeah,
Also,
Joy,
let's just.
I said as soon as he showed up, I was like, he's not the real one. It's a fake out. Like the writers were like, this will be a funny joke, and
Yeah.
it was. They turned him into a dick joke.
And they also made, this is the worst way to be like, this is Ralph. Like it was, her son or just the guy that lived there the whole time. Not really any relevance to Agatha.
Agatha's rabbit was called Scratchy, and in the comics, her son is
Senor
called
Scratchy.
Nicholas Scratch Jr.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I was expecting,
So, a lot of what happened in this show occurred because of what happened in the West Coast Avengers. Looking at, I just sent a link to you in the chat.
I'm reading it now.
They were able to basically do exactly like what you thought was happening in the comics, except for it wasn't just Wanda that went out and got his body. The Avengers found his dismantled body from the governments that had abducted him, which were not just the USA, I think. And then they tried to reassemble him, but it was like an incomplete version. And this left him to be kind of like this very empty shell of a person. Later on, when they interact with another character, I can't remember what the villain's name is. They try to like meld each other or something like. It's really weird. It's called Vision Quest is the name of the storyline. Also, Wonder Man is still a part of this storyline, and he still was not. I'm just really surprised.
Like honestly. I bet you a few weeks ago, I think I bet $5 that he was going to be Wonder Man. Fake Pietro was going to be Wonder Man.
Yeah. You will find that a lot of what you saw in the show was very much that Vision Quest storyline, more so than
just scrolling through it now. I'm already seeing like, okay, that's that's that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's Vision Quest meets House of M.
It's not, but that doesn't even make any sense even then, because that means that you should be Tom King's Vision, and this is House of M and Disassembled. What the fuck?
It's got like the weird sitcom vibe from Tom King's Vision. It's got a lot of Vision Quest elements, and it's also got the fake reality from House of M.
Mm-hmm. So Hayward and Sword managed to bring Vision back using Wanda's
They used a 3D printer to basically bring him back is what happened. And then they were just like, zappy, use some red hex powers, and suddenly he's back.
But they brought Vision back. They didn't really help to bring the hex down, but they were trying to fix that situation.
Yeah.
Like, did it really make sense for Hayward to get arrested?
Does it make sense for Hayward to have a character in this at all? Like, you could have had him completely empty. You could have had just like some random people from Sword do this, and it would have had the exact same effect.
Yeah.
How impactful was this character if you remove him from the storyline and nothing changes?
Like, he's a dick.
The only thing that wouldn't have changed, the only thing that would have changed by having him removed from the show is we wouldn't have had all those fun Mephisto theories.
Yeah. We also wouldn't have had that conflict of when Wanda exited the Hex and then was like, fuck you, Hayward, you're an asshole. And like, that's it.
And did it ever really explain why he staged her for stealing Vision's body?
No.
Oh, no. Like, there's no clarification whatsoever. It's just that he wants to use Vision as like the means to...
He's like maybe he's just like, oh, I can exploit the situation to...
Yeah, that's what it strikes to me is. But even then, if you were going to do that, then why would you send a very qualified person, an agent, to go hunt that person down? Is that what the purpose was? So just to go find Wanda? That's it?
You would send your thickest piece of shit agent who's not going to find anything. And you could just sort of...
Yeah, and we never figured out who the witness protection person was.
No, that was such a weird throwaway thing.
There's so many throwaways.
There's so much of this that was just like...
There's a few things that are kind of
Easter
unanswered.
eggs, revelations, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, like is it Dottie, the one from Buffy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, her husband has the same name as Arcana's husband in the comics. So there are theories about her being Arcana, and then nothing. Also, go on.
Yeah, at what point did Wu get captured? I mean, where has he been for the past?
Remember, he stayed behind or something, and then he got captured by them because of Dirty Debbie. Whatever her name is. What's her name again?
Darcy.
Two Broke Girls.
Darcy.
Yeah. Darcy.
Yeah. Which, by the way, where the fuck was she in this?
She took down Hayward.
She ran the thing into him and she was like, fuck you, I'm out.
She had one line.
I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No money
last
can't
episode.
afford my ass.
You done?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, well, last episode, Vision just sort of like left her.
2 episodes ago, episode 7.
2 episodes ago, he just sort of abandoned her at the edge of town.
Yeah, okay, so she's miles out of town. You know, the hex extends for miles. And then Wanda's just like, you know what? I'm going to raise the hex up, open it up. Why don't you guys all at the center of town just run? Get out of here. It's going to take them like an hour or 2 to run out of town.
That's what I was thinking. They had cars.
Sure. Still going to take some time.
Yeah. No, that was
a lot of time.
Very strange.
I genuinely hope that there is going to be a secondary final episode. Like, I hope this is actually the penultimate. I hope that there's 10 episodes and they're just like, fuck you. You thought this was over. We hate you. We wanted to fuck with all of you guys. Paul Bettany got your asses, made you think that this was all a big fucking joke. Here's the big actual reveal. Because if they don't do that shit, then what the fuck is the point of this? This is a bad start otherwise.
They just released a 10-second clip next Friday of Kevin Feige with the Infinity Gems.
Who's they and where?
Are you serious, or is this a joke you're trying to make?
Me. Yes. Yeah, this was a joke. I was saying next week is just Kevin Feige walking into the Disney vault.
Yeah.
Oh, did you not hear me? Yeah, next week Kevin Feige just walks into the Disney vault, puts on the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah, I'll do it myself.
I thought that you said that they like announced. You were saying like they announced something on social media or something. Okay.
It's like that. It's like that. South Park Comcast episode where they just rub their nipples.
Yep.
It's just Kevin Feige sat at his desk with the Infinity Gauntlet. He's like, oh, you didn't like WandaVision?
Oh. Yeah. Kevin Feige isn't even in control of this one. Like is some of the producers in charge of the show right now.
He was
the entire
EP,
purpose of this experience is to have just sequential show after show after show, and they're like, maybe it's connected. I don't really want to do that for 8
months. The Disney Plus shows are connected.
I know that.
Like, so Wanda, is supposed to be maybe at this point become, the Nexus being that she is, where, she's a gateway to the multiverse, and that's watched by the TVA, who's going to be, in the Loki TV show. So there were other theories that this would tie into that show. Like those agents would appear.
Yeah.
I mean, I get that there's a lot of theory. At this point, I don't really give a fuck about any theory that I see online anymore because it's all Mephisto at this point. And I'm just
But what I was gonna say, what does this mean for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.'s canonness?
Yeah, what's up with that?
Yeah, because in season 4 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they use the Darkhold, which is...
Yeah, are there multiple copies of this? Like,
well, this
I
was
thought they had
the
Darkhold lock and key.
The Darkhold is the book that was missing from the Ancient One's library in Doctor Strange.
Isn't this obvious?
Do go on.
This is just like the redheaded stepchild. The Shield is just that piece of Marvel where they're just like, hey, fuck you.
Yeah, they've already addressed the
really
Darkhold. They have it.
Yeah, they used the Darkhold in season 4. It was what created Ghost Rider.
So it's just like, at some point they lost it again, or there's multiple copies.
I guess so. Agatha stole it.
I feel bad, honestly, for the cast in that because they were actually. I love the cast. I love the show, and then they do that shit, and I'm like, really, fuck you. Why? Why would you do that to me?
But what's her name? Quake.
Main actress?
Yeah.
Daisy?
Better.
Yeah, I was trying to think of the actress's name, but yeah.
There's rumors of
Chloe Bennett. Yeah, there's rumors of her being in the Secret Invasion show because I haven't finished the series, but apparently ended with her in space heading to the Sword satellite.
Okay, I need to get on that.
Yeah, I need to finish it.
Real quick thing, call out because of the racism in Hollywood. Her real last name is not Bennett.
Right.
She changed it to a white name because she was told by an agent that she needed to sound more presentable. But she's Chinese.
Bennett is her father's name.
Yeah, but like that's You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
isn't
So
she-
I mean, that was just her way of like keeping a little bit in there.
Isn't she
weird,
dating
right?
notorious shitbag Logan Paul?
I don't know.
Weird move.
Logan Paul may have done like that one really dumb suicide thing, but I kind of like him. I don't mind that too much because he makes up for it with all of the other shit that he does because he is fucking intense. Like I've seen him berate some people about being anti-racist, and then they're like, "But you don't have the authority to tell me to not be racist." And I'm like, "I will fucking fight you."
They're both weird because I see them both do some good stuff where they do call people out, and then like other times they just look like very like entitled douchebags. Yeah,
massively. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And obviously that Suicide Forest thing was bad.
That was bad, dude.
Yeah.
So this is the weird thing. Ming-Na Wen is a really successful actress who has been in The Mandalorian and S.H.I.E.L.D., and she hasn't had to change her name like at all. Meanwhile, Bennett had to change her last name to present more white.
I mean, she was in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and Mulan in the 90s.
Yeah. So you're saying because she was so established already, she didn't have to change her name?
No. I mean, that's what I'm saying. She didn't have to.
Right. I mean, it's just weird to think that like that kind of like level of like white presentation still has to exist in Hollywood today. I don't know. That's the end of my rant with that.
Or, you know, you take that chance like, oh, I'll be more, you know, marketable if I change my last name to Bennett, and she takes that chance and, you know, it works out.
She called people, she called Hollywood out on Twitter. She's like, they told me to change my name.
Yeah.
Like she did a whole rant about it.
I know it's a Chinese name, but her original surname was Wang. So it's kind of funny she had like
a very traditional Chinese name.
Or another word for a dick as a surname.
Yeah.
Have you seen the incredible Kimmy Schmidt? Unbreakable?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Do you know where I'm going with this?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. So Kimmy meets this dude. I think he's Vietnamese.
Sure, yeah.
And what's his name?
Dong.
And then she laughs and she's like, but she doesn't say anything. And then she goes, "My name's Kimmy." And then he laughs and he goes, she goes, "Why are you laughing at me?" And he goes, "Because Kimmy is a Vietnamese word for penis." Fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Fucking
great humor in that show.
Great show.
I am.
What other negatives can we pull apart about this show?
Like, okay,
we can do some positives.
Like
I like the
go ahead.
When Agatha and Wanda are confronting each other in the town square, Agatha is on the top of the building standing in front of a billboard, and it says all natural formula using the power of Mother Earth, and it was a cleaner.
Yeah.
Nice little, I don't know if you call it an Easter egg, but a nice little detail.
How's that an Easter egg?
I mean, it's commenting on what's going on.
I guess that makes sense.
It's referential.
Yeah. I really liked that little joke about the boots underneath the car.
I was literally about to mention that.
I meant that one. That one too.
That was great.
Yeah, Wizard of Oz, and they had Wizard of Oz as the marquee at the theater.
I liked the way that they said goodbye to the kids. I feel like Paul Bettany was the
I know I sent it to Josh, but I can't remember if I sent it to you after you watched it. Look at the meme I'm just sending you now.
I feel like Paul Bettany was the strongest actor in this show, and that's unfortunate because you can't have a singular actor carry an entire show.
Yeah, because even in like the sitcom era, he perfectly embodied that era.
I just saw the meme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's from the end of Infinity War. It's the after credit scene, and it's like Wanda's kids when they're upstairs and we're being deleted. And it's just Samuel L. Jackson being turned to us, and he's like, "Mother."
That's it.
Yeah.
That's all.
I like that scene where, Wanda raises the hex to let people out, and then the kids and Vision are both there in the town square just disintegrating away. I thought that was really well done.
I gotta say,
and she was like, just hold it for 3 hours while they run out of town.
I am not impressed, like in the slightest.
Walk it off.
Elizabeth Olsen's acting, like I said, like most of this movie was hers. Tommy was so crying.
I think that's a bit harsh.
Then when she's got the fucking red dust pouring out of her, That's literally all that happens. The majority of
It's
the
hard to act magic.
Paul Bettany did a really good job of it.
Oh yeah. You guys want to see a magic trick?
Do I have a pencil?
Oh shit!
That was amazing.
Flourish.
Yeah, he had that little scene where he got out of handcuffs.
Yeah.
So was he just inspired to pursue magic?
They're just oh yeah, well, you're an FBI agent. We don't really need to guard you that much. Just sit on these hay bales.
Yeah, I don't really get that.
Has he just been training in magic since Ant-Man?
Yeah, there's.
Well, remember there was that.
He found his calling in Ant-Man versus Wasp, or Ant-Man and Wasp.
Well, okay, really quick. I mean, the funny part about that is that he was studying magic, and then there was actual magic happening. That's the joke of that. That's why that was so good. But you know, I was also kind of disappointed by the actress who plays Agatha. I actually thought
Catherine Hahn.
Really, yeah, I thought she was doing a really good job until they dressed her up. Like I said, I feel like so much of this show was good until they were like superheroes, and that's weird because
I liked parts of that battle. I mean, they're doing callbacks to other things. She makes the runes.
Yeah, I like.
I don't really like the whole. I don't like the whole trope. I think Marvel has just beat this into the ground, where it's like you have all these powers and you're not deserving of them. You haven't earned these powers. You should give them to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's another thing about that.
Let's not do that again.
That entire fucking sequence is from the first Hulk film, the Ang Lee Hulk film. You want it? Take it all. That's all that is.
You know, you would think that Agatha would be trying to jump in front of like every shot that Wanda was shooting. Like, oh, you're shooting this magic. I can't waste this. I need to grab onto that. Like, she'd be trying you'd probably just try and rush in on Wanda and just take a blast straight to the face.
I'm also really confused about something here. Like, I don't remember there being anything whatsoever that like made like the title Scarlet Witch unique other than the title of like the character. So what does this mean as far as like the Darkhold stuff? Like, what the fuck is that?
What does she so Agatha was warning, like, you don't know what you've unleashed, but what does Wanda unleash by becoming the Scarlet Witch?
Like, oh, she has
Mephisto.
Fuck you.
Death. She's just going to become a brighter beacon to other magic users.
I don't really get it. I'm just confuzzled mostly, like I don't really understand what the point of this is. Speculations? No, Mephisto, shut up.
Speculations for episode 10.
Vision will be back.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope so. White Vision just flew the fuck away and was like, peace, bitch.
You saying that reminds me. I was expecting at the end after credits it'd be like Scarlet Witch will return.
Oh,
that would do that thing, but it didn't. And I was like, oh, okay.
So when the whole world is like disintegrating around Wanda and Vision, like that just reminded me of the time traveler's wife, the way he's just like floating up into the air and like just disappearing.
Yeah. Man, that was a weird movie.
Yeah.
This show is just built around giving her the name Scarlet Witch.
I mean, and I don't really like that.
No.
Like, I like the fact that they gave her original costume. I like that they acknowledged her being, the Wicked Witch, whatever. And then I like the callbacks to the traditional comics. I like that this came from West Coast Avengers. I like the things that were comic booky about it. But when they tried to force the hand about the superhero-y like aspects of it, it just fell to pieces. And that's weird because I wanted this to be something that was different and unique. We've got 24, 25 other superhero films that we can look back to for superhero-y stuff. I wanted this to be something unique.
And it looks, it doesn't bode well for the other stuff, but
nope, it's a really bad setup for
I'm still hopeful for them.
I'm expecting
Falcon
and the
Winter Soldier is going to be a lot of action.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a bit more generic than this, but I'm expecting it to be a higher quality because it's not breaking the mold. It's just going to be a sort of more simple, straightforward espionage.
It's supposed to be a gray area where they operate in, a buddy cop sort of thing.
About with that because they've acknowledged that this is going to be the most adult-rated show or part of the Marvel universe for cinematography. I don't know.
And then what is Loki supposed to be like? Shit, what was that show? True Detective. Like they're supposed to be, time detectives.
Good show. If they make the Loki show a Loki True Detective show, I will become the Joker, and then I will shoot up a movie theater or something. I'll find something. Fuck.
We've got you on camera now. If it happens, you've got to do that.
All right.
Dear FBI,
I'm gonna disavow
this.
Tyler right now.
This is the Cult of Comics. No, you know what? We gotta poison some people. That's what it is. Sorry.
They did that Nail Biter. Nail Biter Returns. Got to do something.
You know what
else.
that's in reference to?
Dark Knight. Batman
No,
Begins.
like that actually happened in real life.
Hmm?
Oh, have I told
Jonestown?
you? Wait a minute. No. Have I not told you guys that my grandmother was in a cult?
Which one?
The Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh cult in Oregon.
Okay. Was there a documentary about that?
Yeah, it's on Netflix. It's called Wild Wild Country.
Yeah, okay.
Go check it out.
Okay, I feel like we need to discuss this more. What I have not heard of that cult.
It was a big enough cult that everybody on the West Coast was in it.
Oh yeah, literally just like a crazy amount of people. So this guy from India, his name was Bhagwan, or they referred to him as Bhagwan, also known as Osho later on. He started this cult, which was primarily a sex cult, and it was like this idea that you were supposed to like discover the other things about, like you were supposed to unleash your
cults
emotions.
start.
Yeah,
it's a self-help kind of group. Like you will become a better person. It was a
spiritual meditation group. Like if you're angry, let out your anger. If you're horny, let out your sexual frustrations. If you want to find peace, bring yourself peace. It was like this whole really like spiritual, like hippy dippy kind of thing. And then it evolved into this really big like conspiracy to get Osho money. Most of those people had to leave the country or travel to different parts of the world in order to like avoid punishments. Watch the documentary.
Maybe think of the Nexium cult.
I was thinking of that.
Yeah, but we're getting distracted from the. I just wanted to I brought that up because they poisoned a large portion of people to try to sway an election, and to basically gain control of a town.
Okay.
So, should we say anything else before we end this episode? I got nothing really. I mean, I'm just, like I said, I'm really just frustrated with how this ended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It failed to stick the landing. I'm still hopeful for future Disney Plus shows. Like, there's so much on the lineup I'm excited for.
Yeah.
And I still enjoyed,
feelings about that part of, different parts of the episode, but on the whole,
like I still really enjoyed it. I don't regret watching it. Like I enjoyed the discussion week to week. It didn't live up to the hype. The journey was
fun.
Yeah.
The destination.
Well, we haven't got to the destination yet. That's still a year away with Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we get Spider-Man in December, so that's.
Yeah, honestly, at this point,
9 months away. You could have a baby by the time Spider-Man comes out.
I could. I'll tell you what. I'll try.
That's all we can ask for.
You want to make a baby? She left.
Right here on this podcast.
Left you.
She left me. She left me because the podcast takes too long.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because we've been doing 5-hour-long episodes.
Yeah. Well, this is only going to be 40 minutes. About the length of the episode.
Welcome to the end of the show where we're just going to bullshit now. I'm going to say this. Of the things that the show did really well that I really enjoyed, like I said, the comic booking it, the callbacks to all the stuff from the comics, loved that. Everything Paul Bettany did, loved it. All of the stuff with Jimmy Woo, loved it.
Yeah.
I love the costume.
More Darcy stuff.
Darcy, yeah, I mean,
she's in
more Monica Rambeau, more Darcy. Just a little more humor and a little more like other things going on. More than just Monica getting her powers.
Yeah. I don't know. It feels like Monica Rambeau is becoming one of those characters that they're like, okay, well, we have to establish her before we put her in anything else. So, I mean, I get that to an extent, but I'm still kind of let down. I don't know. Well,
I stopped bullets with my body.
On that note, I guess we're going to call it here. Thanks for watching yet another bonus episode. Probably the last bonus episode you're going to find for the WandaVision one. Probably. I mean, it depends on if they just...
We'll do a House of M episode.
Yeah, like we'll do something about it. I mean, if there ends up being any more information that comes out about it, I don't think so at this point, and that's kind of also where my bitterness is coming from, because I don't think that this is. I think this is going to be the end. I don't think there's going to be anything else. I think that we're probably going to end up doing a Captain America, Falcon, and the Winter Soldier breakdown.
As long as there's enough content week to week to talk about. If it is just sort of punchy action,
we'll figure it out.
We'd definitely do the first
if it's
episode,
not too cerebral.
Yeah.
Then
okay.
We'll do the first episode, but whether there's enough week to week, we'll decide at the time.
Up for debate. Yeah. That's our show. Thank you for watching this yet another episode of the bonus episodes for WandaVision. We are the Cult of Comics podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Brown. You can find me on Twitter at TCHBrown. Sean, you can find him.
You can find me on Twitter at SeanWalsh747.
And Josh is a mysterious man of mystery who unfortunately will not reveal his location because witness protection program. It was him along this whole time. We are the Cult of Comics, like I had said. We are going to be found on Stitcher, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, all the podcasts. Of course, you can find us on Spotify, YouTube. If you find us on any of these locations, do us a favor, give us a like, give us a share, give us a follow, but most importantly, give us $1 because we're going to be found on Patreon. Patreon.com is where you're going to find us. Give us $1, and then for the $1 or higher level Patreons, we are going to give you a kiss from miles away. For the $5 or higher level, we will have you enter our Discord chat, and then we can have discussions where we tell you your opinions are wrong and that everything about you smells really weird and that you have a weird ponytail and that your voice sounds like sandbox left out in the cold winter rain grated against cheese that went bad last week. The $10 or higher level, then we will have you come on the show where we will compliment you and then tell you very nice things about the way that your appearance looks and that your father left you for all the wrong reasons. Anything else?
Is there any sort of advertisement for Anchor or something?
Yes, thank you very much for reminding me. I actually want to bring this up also. I am recording this episode on my new Tula mic, which is a brand new thing. Sponsor us, Tula. Sponsor us, Tula. My Tula mic is my favorite new thing that we have right here. It's a very easy way to get around and record whatever thoughts you want, bad poetry, bad music, whatever you want to do. The quality is actually pretty impressive on here. It has a mini battery inside, so it allows you to record anything on the go as well, and it has stereo quality recording qualities. Anchor.fm is how we are recording all of our shows and distributing all of our shows. Anchor.fm is the easiest way for us to distribute our podcasts easily across all of the systems, including Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Breaker, all the podcasts, Apple Podcasts, all the stuff. And Anchor.fm also finds sponsors for you, which I'm hoping is going to be Tula Mike in the future. Anchor.fm is actually sincerely one of the easier ways to get started on doing podcasts. You just pop in your RSS feed, your links, social media, YouTube, whatever. It's a really easy way to get started. But the cool thing about it is that it doesn't cost any money to get started. In fact, they find ways to pay you. Cool little factoid with it. That's our show. Thank you again for watching the show or listening to the show. Give us a like, give us a share, give us a follow, and most importantly, stay healthy. All hail.